This is D&D Reddit Stories, and
All right.
today's title is...
Am I the asshole for ruining my fiance's D&D game?
Alright.
All right. My fiance, 29 male, plays D&D, and while it's not my 31 female thing, I usually don't mind. He's a bit anxious and doesn't easily make friends. He was so excited when he joined a D&D group and met new people. Can relate. I like the group members, except for Chris, who's kind of a frattish guy. He constantly makes disparaging jokes about his wife. He calls her the old ball and chain, unironically, and says shit like, I gotta call the warden and ask for permission first. I don't know why a 20-something man talks like a 1950s oil tycoon, but here we are. He also doesn't contribute when people bring communal snacks to D&D. Chris isn't winning any points for me so far.
No, that's fucking funny.
Chris isn't doing well. Which brings me to my point. I don't drink often, but I will sometimes buy a nice bottle of vodka, $50 or more. A serving on the rocks makes me feel like an adult in a way I could neither explain nor justify. When we have guests over, we set out assorted drinks, snacks, etc. If they want something specific, they have to bring it or ask. A while ago, fiance held a D&D session at our house. I greeted everyone, then made myself scarce. Later, I came out only to find Chris in our kitchen opening my new vodka. I told him, hey, I thought we told you, but you're supposed to ask first. That's not for guests and it's a bit pricey. Instead of addressing me, Chris turned to fiance and said, what's hers is yours, right? Welcome to marriage. I was floored. Chris then said, you don't mind me having some, right? And poured before I could answer. The group was waiting on him to resume playing, so I let it go, my first mistake for those keeping score. After everyone left, fiance confirmed that Chris hadn't asked him either before taking my vodka. Next weekend. This past weekend, D&D happened again. I came out to get myself some water, and Chris was once again helping himself to my vodka. Here's what totally broke my brain. Chris had asked for BYOB, and yet he was still drinking mine. I marched right over and complained. Chris either ignored me or didn't hear, so I asked why he was taking mine, when he should have brought his own. He said mine was nicer, and then said, you don't have to be such a bitch about it. It's a little vodka. Are you an alcoholic, or are you just cheap?
I told him,
house? In her fucking house.
In her fucking, under her goddamn roof?
Well, they host their D&D. I told him to leave, not politely. Chris kept saying, this is bullshit, over and over, collected his stuff, and stormed out. After things were very awkward, the group agreed he shouldn't have called me a bitch, but well, Chris was the DM. I don't know a lot about D&D, but without him, there's no game. They either have to keep playing somewhere else with him or start a new campaign that excludes him. Everyone asked me if he's banished forever or if he can come back to the house, and I didn't know what to tell them. I would let Chris back if he apologized, but somehow I don't think I should hold my breath. I feel really bad. Fiance was so excited about this game, and I may have ended it. Fiance supports me, but he's worried Chris will cause future problems. Am I the asshole?
No.
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 No!
A little
Wow.
But
No,
I'm
God
glad
damn it.
her fiance supporting her though. Like, hey, no,
Yeah,
you're in
for
the right.
real.
Like, I'm glad that he was backing her up and not just like,
Yeah.
you kind of ruined D&D for me. Like, that would have been really shitty. But no, he's like, no, like, this is fine. He called you a bitch and you wanted him out of the house. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a toxic fucking DM too. Like, I don't want to play with that dude.
Yeah.
No.
Find a new DM. It's just
Wow.
more worth it that way.
I don't want to be with dickbag Chris. I would not let him back in my house.
No.
This one is more like drama surrounding D&D, but I still thought it was juicy enough to throw in there.
Yeah,
this is good.
I love like the
Chris is-
outside of the campaign stories where there's just like drama between the players.
Yeah.
I fucking
Over
live for
my
those.
D&D,
favorite.
I love it.
They're so
It
good.
sucks that he's the DM, but I hope the
Yeah.
fiance can find somebody else.
They can
I
find
don't
something
see
him-
else.
You can find like like even online. You can play it as a group together at a table
Like we
and then
do.
have someone just DM online. Yeah, exactly, kind of. But
Kind of.
you don't have to put up with that, which I'm glad that she was
No.
put her foot down and then just like
Yeah.
shrug it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he went
definitely.
directly back for it the second time is what would have made him assault that man.
After there was an explicit conversation about bringing your own alcohol.
Yeah, even
Like,
to avoid the
literally.
problem the second time. BYOB, establish it. That should have been enough of a hint to him, and he did that to be a dick.
Literally. And then he called her a bitch, which, like, What the fuck?
Get out.
Whoa!
Get out.
Where did that come from?
Wow. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
asshole.
If you want to hear a couple comments that are right up our alley, because I don't think anybody said Chris wasn't an asshole. Not the asshole. Chris is the asshole. You told him not to, and he's still taking the vodka, and he should have always asked. It can be very hard to find a DM, but with his attitude, I doubt it he's a good one. He
Yeah.
seems like the type to retaliate against a player for going against him. There's a good chance others are sick of him too.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yep. And then every single comment after that. Same vibe.
Damn. Wow.
Ready
Chris
to read.
got whammied in the comments.
Pretty straightforward on that one, that's for sure. Okay. I'm gonna do mine. Our second story is Am I the Asshole? I don't want to host our D&D games anymore because of a player's girlfriend. So, for the last 3 months, I, male 34, have been hosting our D&D games in my flat. Everything was fine until one of the players wanted to bring his male 33 girlfriend, female 30, along, which in itself was not a big problem. So we all agreed that she could just watch. She did not want to play herself as she was, in her own words, too inexperienced. During the session, she came across as very bored and constantly made loud sighs noises to, I guess, express her boredom, which was disruptive and, to be honest, childish, IMO. She also had a very rude attitude in general and complained about the choice of snacks and drinks. What really annoyed me came after the session, however. 2 days ago, I logged into Discord and went to our group's video game channel just to discover that the girlfriend was talking shit behind my back, calling my place a dirt hole and me a quote for quote psycho, as well as my husband a quote for quote creep. She probably did not realize that I was in the channel because I use a different name on Discord. I guess I have to explain here. I made paper flowers for weddings and funerals as a side job, so my flat sometimes is a bit untidy, but never unclean or dirty. She apparently found it creepy that a grown man, quote for quote, had dozens of paper flowers lying around. Mind you, I put them all on my work desk to make the place more comfortable for visitors. My husband came home in the evening and I startled her when he entered the living room. While I can't say for sure why she called him a creep, it is either because there is an age gap between between me and him of 7 years, or because he has a disfigured face due to an accident. I was angry, and when the players asked when the next session would be, I told them the date and also that the girlfriend was invited to come since she felt, or sorry, invited not to come since she felt so uncomfortable in my dirt hole of a place, quote for quote. By now, everyone else has also seen the note she wrote. That pissed her off and her boyfriend as well, who even said that I should send my husband away too if we didn't allow spouses to come along anymore. To which I called him an entitled prick and plainly stated that I would no longer host the sessions anymore as long as he wanted to bring her along. The group is now torn into two camps, those who agree with me and those who want to, quote for quote, skip the drama and just want to continue playing with or without her. So, am I the asshole for pretty much making it impossible for our group to continue the game because I don't want the girlfriend in my flat anymore?
Once
Oh.
again, no. In your own goddamn house? Like,
I read this one and it pissed me off. Like, you're gonna come into somebody else's house and insult both him and his husband. What it sounds like, or her and her husband. I missed that part.
That part
But-
was kind of confusing because they kept kind of swapping the pronouns, so
Yeah.
I don't really know. But spouse,
Their
partner.
husband.
Yeah, that's fine. Whoever it
Spouses.
was, insult their partner, insult their home, and then expect to come back? Are you serious? Are we not adults?
yeah, fucking for real. And also,
Yeah.
like, how childish do you have to be to, like, just go on a Discord and just start, like, talking shit about, like, somebody's house that you were in once? And,
To people
Like,
who I
how-
assume are established friends.
right. Like,
Yeah.
how awkward and how, like, cunty. Not
there
in a
is-
way.
They do
Not
have
in a slay way.
edits on the,
She's not serving. She's just a
Not
cunt.
serving. Just a fucking asshole.
So there's two edits on the post. The first edit. I am hosting because of my husband's disability and don't want to leave him alone if it can be avoided, because a lot has been asked why she wants to tag along. I suspect that she has control issues. Take that with a grain of salt, please. I'm not that familiar with their relationship. Edit 2. I was totally blown away by how many people responded, and I am sorry that I can't reply to everyone. Thank you for your judgments, and I will talk to my group this Sunday and post an update. No update yet. Very
Ah.
wait
I
to see.
I just take the people that sided with me that aren't complete dicks and be like, hey, let's play
Yeah.
D&D ourselves.
Well, okay. Well, hold on though. One thing about like I can see from the other like the outside players' perspectives that are like I just don't want the drama. I just want to play D&D. I can see from their perspective because the situation doesn't really affect them other than that they just don't have a place to play D&D.
What
And
I
so I
would
can
Yeah.
say
see
to
from
that
their
though,
perspective why they're just like, "Oh, I just don't want the drama."
yeah.
But also, like, if you're to pick sides, like, if, like, obviously in this situation they kind of have to, like, everyone in that fucking party should be siding with the host.
And I think too, like it's not just like drama when one of your like good friends has been insulted like openly. I feel like that almost crosses a line. Like if, and I'm assuming here, like if
Yeah,
these people
I
are
guess it
good
also depends
friends,
on, like, how close they are too, yeah.
yeah, like if they are close with them, it's like that's your friend,
Then
and
yeah,
some random stranger is like
being a
talking
total asshole.
shit. Yeah, I mean at that point, it's like side with your friend,
Yeah, stand
Yeah.
up
Well,
for your
that
fucking
guy.
friend.
and they
Fuck the
Yeah.
insulted their
girlfriend.
partner because they had some type of issue with their face. Like, don't point out
That
people's
is
like insecurities. Like,
so
just be a
too
good
deep.
fucking person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
that is so insulting.
The
I
nerve
would.
on some people is insane.
Like, you're a creep. I don't like your face. Well, I have a deformity. Yeah, you're a creep.
Yeah, I think "get out of my
That
house
pissed me off.
forever" is a really solid response to that.
I feel like that's a responsible and mature way because I would have gone off on them.
Yeah.
People are
Definitely.
so nice in these stories. Like,
And they're always like, "Am I the asshole?" And it's like somebody who picked a flower for someone who was sad. Like, that's how simple it
am
is sometimes.
I the asshole
Am
for
I the
being mad
asshole
because
for
somebody
picking a
punched me?
flower? Okay. That's the end of these stories. Let's jump into the actual D&D session.